let's try to examine the origin of the problem. So, this is actually a typical supply chain situation today. Supposingly, this is the factory in China, and this is the distribution center or the warehouse of a US or Europe customer. And it is very typical that the supply point on the manufacturing point and the consumption point is usually having long distance away. Let's see, the timeline is actually illustrating how long that these two parties are between each other. First of all, across different industry, we know this timeline can be different. But what can be sure that to ship products from China to US or Europe can take like 5 weeks if shipped by sea. Secondly, I know if you place order to a factory, you need to wait for their production. And in a typical consumer product market, that production lead time can be 4 to 8 weeks. And I know some special products, this production lead time can be longer. That production lead time means when you place an order to the factory until the time the factory tells you that it is ready. Another lead time which is actually less visible but is existing, we call order lead time. And what is order lead time? Order lead time is the lead time between the same product you will reorder with your supplier. And why it takes 4 to 12 weeks, we know a lot of constraint that your supplier is demanding the customer. A very typical thing is called minimum order quantities. We know you are, as a customer, they sell products every day, ongoingly. But they cannot place order to your supplier on the same pace because they don't allow you to place. Please accumulate and batch until to the right quantities. And depending on how fast these items can be sold, 4 to 12 weeks can be the average time that these products can be reordered in the system. So to add up these 3 elements in the lead time can add up to 13 to 25 weeks. Not only to these 13 to 25 weeks, we understand that our customer need to take about the factor of variability. Because especially under this long lead time, they know a lot of changes may happen. For example, the supplier will tell you in the last minute that they cannot deliver. Customer may tell you that in the last minute, I receive a better forecast that I need more. So in order to support all these demand and capture all possible sales, the customer will add a buffer when they're calculating how much they need. And finally, that can be end up to like 4 to 8 months inventory along the whole supply chain. And this, of course, these 4 to 8 months will spreading over all different products, and they will estimate different demand level according to what they see, how this product can be sold. So let's see what will happen in this supply chain after 1 month. So after 1 month, this is a very typical situation that some products are selling better than the others. It's a very typical situation. So like in this example, that those 2 SKU, color in blue and yellow, are selling faster, so customer inventory level dropping faster. So when the customer, the retailer and wholesaler, when they see their warehouse situation, what they will do is they will place order for the blue and yellow products, because they have to catch the inventory level back to the original level that they need. But what the other products, they will hold on until they see the sales situation better. So after 2 months, what may possibly happen is the blue and yellow SKU, the products, are selling much faster. This is a good news to a company, but because supply cannot catch up, these high runners are stocking out. And remember, because these are the high runners to a company, the lost sales to a company for missing these items are actually much higher than the company's average sales. On the other hand, you see all those other colors, they are actually sitting in the warehouse. They can do nothing to a company. They cannot replace the job for blue and yellow. And what is really damaging is these items are tie up all the company's resources, meaning the cash. They cannot use that to buy those things that can net themselves faster. And we understand actually these pictures are talking about the loss, the financial loss situation of the retail and wholesale customer. And of course, definitely this is not perfect, and this is a situation that they have to cure in order to improve their financial sheets. So, what can they do? Actually, our company, Winnington Metal, has introduced a new business model 2 years ago. And the target of this model is to let the cash machine going back to your company. The name of this program is called Winnington Inventory Returns. And simply the word WIT. The name of this program can tell it aims to increase the company's inventory turns. This name means you can generate more sales, more cash for the company at a much lower cost. By that end, the inventory turns increase. So, how this model runs and how it is different from the current model that we see previously. So this slide is actually talking about a typical supply chain, from raw material to factory to customer warehouse. So under this model, we are using a completely different way to supply product. Usually, what starts the supply chain is supplier firstly push a batch of product to the downstream. For example, if a customer places a manufacturing order for 5,000 pieces, that 5,000 pieces go to the chain. But under this model, we use a different way to supply products. All replenishment to customer are based on retailer or wholesalers' actual consumption at their site. Remember, we are talking about actual consumption means the actual products that they already ship out to their customer, meaning they already make a sale, instead of what they think they will sell. By getting those data, meaning I know which products that they have sold today, what this model would do is, under this system, the Winnington would hold the finished goods inventory at our warehouse, and because we are holding physical stock already, so the replenishment time to this customer warehouse are just the sea shipment lead time, which is the transportation lead time only. Because right now we do not need to count on production lead time, and also there's no minimum quantity. The customer sales data is the quantity that we need to react to. Also, there is another thing which we need to emphasize, is that also different way that we manufacture products. Before that, we are talking about 4 to 8 weeks manufacturing lead time. As we said, a typical consumer market. Winnington has spent 2 years' time doing what? Doing the new way that we manage our production. So instead of 4 to 8 weeks, we are talking about here 7 to 9 days manufacturing lead time. And this is already achieved in our factory. So these finished goods warehouse at our plants do not need to hold high level before they can continue the goods to customer warehouse, because we are talking about very quick replenishment. Not only to that, when we see the whole supply chain, the whole chain is actually holding the right mix. When we say the right mix, meaning much more fast running item and less slow running item. The magic is, why? Because the whole chain react according to customer actual consumption instead of what will be sold. And the whole lead time is killing the long lead time model that we just described now. And actually some customer will ask a question, what is the difference between this kind of model versus, I know, some